Hi friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel Civil Stuff by Waheed. So today I am going to discuss about the classification of buildings as per National Building Code, that is N.B.C. Presently the code is SP 7 2016, means it is amended means revised. Okay. Based upon this National Building Code, the buildings have been classified under 9 categories from A to J. Okay. Whereas when you talk about the group A, it is called as a residential building. It is called as what? Residential building. What this residential building actually means? Means a building which is having a sleeping accommodation with or without cooking or with or without dining, specifically dining, that comes under residential building. Again, these have been categorized, we'll see in the further slides. Next, coming to the group B, it is an educational building, means about schools, colleges, any daycare centers like that will be there, right? Those all comes under educational building group B. Coming to the group C, it is institutional buildings where any medical or care for physical or mental illness persons will be there. For that, those are institutional buildings. Coming to the group D, assembly, means a group of people gathering for some amusements, any social events or religion events like etc. will be there, right? Political events, all these comes under the assembly. Coming to group E, it is business. Business in the sense, just they will be having production center outside, but that production related matter will be stored in that particular building, like accounts and any records keeping related to that particular business, right? And coming to the group F, it is mercantile. Mercantile means what? Stores, shops, market, which may be wholesale or retail. And the group G, it is industrial. Means here industrial means some processing units of any products or materials will be there, and any fabrications of any steel structures, for example, I am saying, will be there. Okay, and the precast members will be fabricated like that. Those are comes under industrial buildings. Coming to group H, that is storage. Storage means what? Any warehouses, say for example cold storage. Okay, we'll see in further slide what is cold storage, etc. Coming to the group J, it is a hazardous. These hazardous buildings generally should be constructed in the outskirt areas of one particular city or town. That is, which hazardous buildings are nothing but storage of highly combustible or explosive materials. All these comes under hazardous buildings. Now further we'll see the sub classifications of these particular group A to J. There are 9 groups. Okay, coming to subcategory of group A residential buildings. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories are there. Under that, A1 subcategory of residential building is either lodging or rooming houses. Now what is this lodging means? Separate sleeping accommodation will be there, and in that condition should not be greater than 15 persons. Means in a lodging area, not more than 15 rooms should be available. 15 persons, not more than 15 persons accommodation should be there. And that lodging accommodation or sleeping accommodation may be temporary or permanent basis. And in this lodging or rooming houses, no cooking facility will be available, but there may be a chances of dining chances may be there, or dining may not be there. Coming to the A2, means see 1 or 2 family members will be constructing a building. Say for example, in a family you will be having 3 brothers. Okay, 3 brothers or 2 brothers like that. You will be constructing your individual houses within the same area, same unit, right? Same plot, you will be constructing different flats. That is comes under this category. Means sleeping accommodation which is not greater than 20 persons. Next, dormitories. This dormitories is nothing but group sleeping accommodation with or without dining facility. And see, these dormitories are generally available nearby the bus stations, railway stations, or any function halls. See, generally, bus stands and railway stations nearby areas means for only sleeping purpose, for one night staying due to late coming of train, like that will be problems will be there, right? For those situations you will be using dormitories, and mostly you will be having only sleeping accommodation and bathing accommodation. And see here, the persons who are there in the dormitories may not be of your family members, they will be outside. And coming to the apartment houses, living quarters are provided for 3 or more families. Generally, apartments means what? It's a typical building. How many flats you can take, the flat plan will be same based upon the direction, right? Coming to the A5 hotels, you will be having a sleeping accommodation with or without dining facilities, and it is more than greater than 50%, and it is purely temporary basis. That comes under category A5. These are all the 5 subcategories which are related to residential building. Next we will see Group B, educational buildings. It has been subcategorized into 2 subdivisions. One is B1 and B2. B1 is nothing but schools up to senior secondary level with not less than 20 students. Okay. And group 2 is nothing but all other training institutions up to 100 students. All these comes under group 2, right? These are regarding the educational buildings. Coming to the group C, it is institutional buildings. Now, what is this institutional buildings? As I said, you will be having a medical or care for physical or mental illness persons, like that, right? That comes under institutional buildings. Now, C1, C2, C3, these are the 3 subdivisions of institutional buildings. Coming to this one, first one, hospitals and sanatoria. What do you mean by sanatoria? Means it is a center purely for one particular illness, say some cancer. So cancer treatment will be done, purely cancer treatment will be only done in that one. Like that, some separate will be there. Okay, some recovery they will be taking in that particular area, right? Coming to here, hospitals and sanatoria, housing for the persons suffering from physical limitations due to age and health. Age means generally old age people also will be there. For that you will be having some separate centers like that. Okay. Next, custodian institutions. Next, custodian means what? Custodian means it is used for custody and care of some persons. Mentally disabled persons will be there, okay, and orphan children will be there, and old age homes will be there. All this comes under this. Next, penal and mental institutions, generally mental hospitals, jails. Penal means what? Housing for the persons under restrictions. Who will be under restrictions? A person who is a thief, okay, a person who is a murderer. Like that you will be having for them jails, okay, prisons, like that. And mental hospitals, all these comes under this category. Coming to group D, these are nothing but assembly buildings. Means buildings having again this has been categorized to 5 subdivisions. Now assembly buildings means what I said it is a gathering of people for amusement. Amusement means some entertainment, and for social, religion, like that. Now, if the buildings having a theoretical stage means theater is there, and fixed seats, non-movable seats, and for over 1,000 persons. Over 1,000 persons means accommodation is more than 1,000 persons, and the chairs are non-removable, and theoretical stage is there. That comes under group D1. Okay. Next, same buildings having theoretical stage, fixed seat but less than 1,000 person comes under D2 category, D2 subcategory, I'm sorry. Next, coming to the D3, buildings without a stage but accommodation for greater than 300 persons without permanent seating arrangement. Means just like a Maidan, okay, greater than 300 persons can accommodate, but no permanent seating arrangement will be there. And a D4 category building is buildings without a stage and accommodation for less than 300 persons. It is more than 300 persons is D3, less than 300 persons is D4. Coming to the D5, whatever the category which are not under these four is nothing but a D5. Buildings designed for assembly of persons which is not covered from D1 to D4. D1 to D4, that comes under the D5 group. This is all about the assembly buildings. Next, coming to the group E, business buildings. As I said you, business means whatever the accounts holding, the record keeping. For that they will be using the buildings, offices, like offices, banks, professional establishments. Professional means profession. Doctor is one profession, engineer is one profession, architect is one profession, lawyer is one profession. They will be having their own consultancies, right? Those comes under E1. So business buildings, right? Next, coming to the E2, laboratories, research centers and test houses. Say for example, quality control test will be checking for civil engineering, right? Before constructing any building, they will be going for a sample testing, okay, and after construction they will be going for a quality check. All these are comes under this category. And any computer made installations, computer related installations will be done in the E3. Okay, this is about the subdivision of group E, business building. Coming to the group F, this is mercantile buildings. As I said you, it is shops, stores, markets. This may be wholesale or retail. Now in this also they have been categorized in two, F1 and F2. Okay, F1 is related to the all the stores, markets, etc. up to 500 square meters, whereas F2 is you will be having a underground shopping centers and any departmental stores with greater than 500 square meters. All these comes under F2, right? Coming to the group G, that is industrial buildings. Okay, in the three categories are there. Means buildings which are used for low hazard industries. What it indicates is low hazard means no possibility of fire may occur inside the building, but there may be a chances of fire getting fired inside the building from outside if any happen. If any fire accident happens within the vicinity, then there is a chances of getting fire inside the building. Other than that, whatever the products which are available inside the building will not create any, means will not have a liability to get fire accident. That is called as what? G1, buildings used for low hazard industries. Coming to the G2, buildings used for moderate hazard industries, and G3 is what? Buildings used for high hazard industries. Now coming to these two are having a chances of, means liability of getting fire with the inside products which are available for processing the any materials or products, right? All this comes under industrial building. Coming to the group H, storage buildings. Now as I said you, to store any material or animals such as warehouses, cold storage and garages. Garages means you all know it's a vehicle garage, like that will be there. And cold storage, what is cold storage? Means suppose if you take a red chilli during on season you will be using, and during off season if you want to have a red chilli, means where you can get. For that reason, the bulk excess amount of red chilli whatever available there will be storing, just like a cotton also they will be storing in the cold storages, like. Okay, coming to the group J, hazardous building. The name itself says it is the building which is used for storage or handle or manufacture high combustible or explosive materials. Example, storage of LPG gas, explosives or fireworks, etc. Okay, all these are the 9 different categories of buildings as per N.B.C. As I said you, that is group A is residential building, group B is educational, C comes under institutional, D comes under assembly, and E comes under business, F comes under mercantile, and G comes under industrial, H comes under storage, and J comes under hazardous. These are the things. Now you should be thorough with these groups, subgroups for your Ecet. Since this is the first time this subject have been introduced, we can't expect what type of questions we can get from this type of topics, but surely Definitely 8 to 10 marks will be there from this subject, building materials and construction practice. And for Ecet it is introduced first newly, but for AE or AEE generally these topics are available in that exams, in that syllabus. Okay, and those who are preparing for AE and AEE for upcoming notifications, you can also utilize this video. And one more thing, if you want any topic from any other subjects, you can just give in a comment box so that I will try to explain the topics. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and try to share my video.